You know, in a world just overflowing with information, it feels like a constant challenge. How do you really get well informed, grasp what's important?
Yeah, and find those aha moments that actually, expand your understanding.
Exactly. How do you cut through all that noise and get to the heart of what matters? Especially maybe when that info comes from places you don't expect.
It really does feel like we're bombarded, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Filtering that out, finding the real signal, that's a skill.
Yeah.
And yes, sometimes it means looking beyond the usual sources.
Absolutely. And today we're taking a deep dive into a truly unique source that promises to help us do just that. It's called The Art of Influence.
Right.
And the title says it offers keys to winning hearts, bringing positive change, and navigating what it calls a tough, even spiritual world.
And the author, Ryuho Okawa, he's the founder and CEO of Happy Science.
Hmm.
And he makes quite a bold claim right in the preface.
Oh.
Yeah, he's described not just as a religious leader, but get this, a modern philosopher who speaks in living language,
Yeah.
a thinker and leader of the times. It even suggests he's becoming the spirit of the times, that Hegelian sense.
Wow, like embodying the whole era's consciousness for Japan and the world.
Yeah.
That's a big statement.
It is. It really sets the stage for what the book's trying to achieve.
It certainly sets a high bar. So for you, our listener, our mission in this deep dive is basically to pull out the most potent nuggets of knowledge, maybe some surprising facts from this material. We're trying to give you a shortcut to what's important.
Yeah, focusing on how you can build that inner strength, lead with wisdom, keep your peace in a busy life.
All while getting a deeper understanding of the world around you. So let's unpack this.
Okay.
We're going to start by looking at building your inner foundation, cultivating wisdom, shaping destiny. And the book kicks off with maybe a surprising first step to influence and growth.
Yeah.
Just being open to advice. It literally says, cultivating a wish to learn from others is the first necessary step. It sounds almost too simple, right?
It does, but then it immediately points out why we often resist that advice. It calls it strong but unrecognized egotism and pride.
Ah, okay. Makes sense.
And what's interesting here is how it frames that openness. It's not just like politeness. It's seeing that real influence, real growth. It starts with humility.
Right.
And it goes beyond just taking advice. It stresses sharing the good advice you get, fostering selfless compassion, it calls it.
It's a cycle.
Exactly. And the outcome of doing this, learning and sharing, the book says, the more your store of inner wisdom is allowed to develop, the more extraordinary your character will become.
I like that. A continuous loop of growth giving and receiving. Okay, so beyond that, the book highlights another really key internal skill. Knowing the difference between problems you can change and problems you can't. Why is that so vital?
Well, because dwelling on stuff you can't control, it's just unproductive, right?
Yeah.
The source suggests that if you focus your energy where it actually counts, you can dramatically shift your life's course. Which leads to a big question the book raises. What do you really have control over when it comes to your, fundamental path in life?
And here's where it gets really interesting, because the book dives into this concept of a life plan made before birth. So is destiny fixed?
Wow.
The book says no. Our original life plans can indeed be altered. It explains that different soul levels, which seem to be stages of spiritual development, can affect how detailed these plans are. Like a bigger mission might mean a more detailed plan.
That's a powerful idea. If you think about it, it means your efforts right now aren't just for today. They could actually lead to more meaningful soul training experiences than you originally planned for.
So you could actually get further ahead than you thought.
That's the implication.
Yeah.
A dynamic relationship with destiny, not a fixed script.
That is a transformative concept. The idea that our daily choices could actually upgrade our pre-birth plans. Wow. The book also mentions external support, saying, cultivating inner virtue can turn the course of your fate in a positive direction when a supporter appears.
Right, like attracting help through your own efforts.
Yeah, and it highlights vital turning points and how your daily efforts to polish your virtue, I like that phrase, can guide you onto a positive path.
And tied into that is the idea of heaven's will. It suggests sometimes our wrong desires remain unfulfilled for our own good, actually.
So if your dream doesn't align with heaven's will,
You'll need to accept heaven's wish as your fate. That's the quote. Discerning that difference must be tricky, though. The book doesn't give a simple checklist, but it does talk about the power of hardship.
how so?
It says, the greatest failures and mistakes are sometimes our blessings. They're seen as ways to polish your inner diamond and give you perspective.
Okay, moving from that inner foundation to, let's say, sharpening your mind and outward influence. The book has some striking ideas on really grasping difficult subjects like politics or economics.
It says it starts with interest, naturally, but for educated perspectives, you need that solid knowledge base.
And the benchmark it sets for that is kind of amazing.
Yeah, tell us.
It suggests reading 1,000 informative books to spot errors and lies in the news media,
1,000, wow.
or 100 books to discuss something at a semi-expert level and form your own opinions. It really emphasizes the depth needed for real expertise.
Okay, 1,000 books. That feels almost impossible for most people today. Does it offer any practical way around that?
It does, yeah. For busy people, the strategy is dedicate 80% of your energy to your main field and 20% to subjects you like the least. Basically, force yourself to broaden out into tricky areas.
That's counterintuitive but interesting. Push into the uncomfortable stuff.
Right. And there's a shortcut. It's also valuable to receive the help of knowledgeable friends. Learn in minutes what might take you 10 years alone.
Makes sense. Leverage others' expertise. But there's a warning too, right?
Yes, a caution. Wait to voice strong opinions until you're a true expert.
Good advice in today's world. Okay, so zooming out a bit to leadership and market survival. The book talks about what makes someone legendary.
And it's not just latent talent, it says. It's diligent effort, working 100 times harder than the average person.
So persistence over raw ability again. That's a powerful message.
Definitely challenges the born great idea.
And this connects to a broader theme, the principle of market survival. It states, only what's necessary survives.
And that applies to
Companies, departments, and individual employees.
Yeah.
In tough times, the strategies are cost reduction, sure, but crucially answering the question, why would your customers need to purchase your products and services?
Basically, what's your unique value?
Exactly. And it even says, religions and businesses are both subject to the same sifting process, suggesting this is a universal principle of value creation.
That's a fascinating link, applying business ideas so broadly. The book also stresses specialization. Laying a solid foundation in one field will make it much easier for you to master other fields. Why is that depth so important before going wide?
It suggests, I think, that real versatility comes from having a core you deeply understand, which kind of leads us into leading with love and wisdom.
Right. And here, a key distinction for leaders is spotting the difference between acting from love and acting from an egoistic desire to achieve your own goals.
How does it define that difference?
The difference lies in the motive behind the action. It's all about the why. Are you genuinely caring or just self-interested?
Got it. Does it offer practical tips on, say, management?
It does, like how to give reprimands based on personality, treating proud people differently than carefree ones, and giving less capable employees tasks matching their ability, but also foreseeing potential failures to guide them.
So realistic management. Any examples?
It uses Saigo and the Meiji Restoration to illustrate the limits of a sympathetic leader. Basically, compassion is vital, but you also need a vision for the future.
Makes sense. Sympathy isn't enough on its own.
And there's a powerful analogy for aid. Teach people to dig wells, don't just give them water. Love that contains wisdom can bring about fruitful results. Ultimately, it says, the greater your wisdom, the greater your love will become.
That's a really potent definition of effective leadership. Wisdom and love feeding each other. The book also talks about enlightenment versus capacity of the soul.
Yeah, it argues that those who broaden their spiritual capacity have more potential to grow because they can handle a wider range of experiences. And then it lists 5 weapons for achieving great accomplishments.
Weapons, what are they?
Courtesy, wisdom, sincerity, justice, and valor.
Okay, classic virtues. How are they weapons?
They're framed as essential tools for serving the world, contributing to the happiness of the many. And to put this into context, it offers 3 ways to assess historical leaders.
Okay, what's the first?
Selfless acts of altruism. It uses Abraham Lincoln as the prime example, someone acting for the greater good beyond just personal gain.
Right, on a second.
Contribution to creating a utopian society. Here, it critiques the movie Gone with the Wind, saying it misses the deeper values and spiritual drives behind the American Civil War. True leadership aims to build a better future.
Interesting critique. And the third criterion?
Spiritual legacy, the lasting impact of their wisdom and teachings. The main point is, the biggest factor in assessing our leadership capability is the goal we aim to achieve. What's your ultimate aim?
That's quite a framework.
Then the book shifts gears quite dramatically. It gives us unique insight into the future world situation. Though the author does note his perspective has evolved and he decided to stop making negative prophecies.
Okay, what's his take?
He observes that throughout history, each religious group has been engaging in fierce competition, trying to become a majority force. He likens them to political parties vying for dominance.
That's a different way to look at global power struggles.
Yeah. He then gives this sweeping geopolitical overview, talks about historical shifts between Islamic and Christian civilizations, concluding that Anglo-Saxon civilization merged with Christianity is what he sees as most dominant today.
Okay, and how does he view WWAI?
Describes Japan's role as a religious conflict from his viewpoint, and claims Japan's involvement triggered other Asian countries to declare independence, forcing Western nations to reflect. So not a total victory for Anglo-Saxon civilization.
That's a very specific interpretation.
It is. And he states flatly, war is a key factor in determining which civilization is dominant. He sees current American civilization as a mix of Judean and Christian civilizations, which he thinks explains conflict with anti-Semitic Arabs.
And Israel's military strength.
He attributes it to U.S. support, tech, and nuclear weapons, and then makes a bold prediction. America will probably remain strong at least to the end of the 21st century.
Why?
He attributes it to the powerful leadership and spiritual force of Anglo-Saxon gods. A very spiritual take on geopolitics.
Definitely unique. And his hopes for the future. China becoming capitalist, North Korea free, the Muslim world revitalized by opening up to new ideas. It's a broad vision for global change from his perspective. Again, we're just reporting the content here, not endorsing it.
Understood. Okay, let's shift back to the personal. Navigating stress, finding self-confidence. We all deal with stress and gloominess at work.
Absolutely. What simple remedies does the book offer?
Surprisingly simple ones, like with only a minute of deep breathing, you can calm your mind considerably. Just 1 minute.
That's incredibly practical. We can all find 1 minute.
I find that really helpful myself. It also suggests an actor mindset. Put on a positive, cheerful aura, and people might believe something good happened, creating positive interest.
Bake it till you make it, kind of.
A bit like that. And even making a change in your appearance can help you feel better on the inside, like wearing bright colors, outer influencing inner.
Makes sense. What about for really busy people, the business elite it mentions, who struggle with meditation?
Yeah, it highlights that challenge. It says they need to consciously create a time and space to maintain a calm state of mind. It acknowledges how hard that is when you're always busy.
So it's about deliberate effort.
Yes. And it offers this powerful reframing. Think of fatigue and distress as the tax you pay for living in this world. Spiritual practice then becomes pure profit, turns hardship into gain.
That is a powerful reframe. Does it give signs for when you're pushing too hard, reaching too far?
It does. Clear signs. Declining health, yours or family, more complaints about your work, big family problems, kids becoming delinquent, divorce.
So pay attention to the ripples you cause.
Exactly. It uses Jack Welch as an example, suggesting his marriages broke down because work always came first. The book states bluntly, business success and a happy home often don't go hand in hand with that kind of imbalance.
Wow, stark warning.
The core advice is, you need to notice the signs of potential problems before they actually occur. Pay attention to how those around you feel.
That requires real awareness, especially for busy leaders. What about getting out of slumps?
Most common cause identified. Overworking. The solution. Start planning in advance to take some days off. Use as an airplane analogy you need to land and refuel.
Makes sense. You can't fly forever. And for managers.
Entrust subordinates. Guide their growth by asking their views or giving hints. Don't just solve everything for them.
Right. Empower them instead of creating dependency. What about making good decisions when you have tons of choices?
Cultivate higher awareness to tell opinions apart. And the ultimate guide. Ask yourself what God would want you to do in this situation.
A spiritual benchmark. And coping with sleepless nights during tough times.
A surprisingly comforting thought. No one has ever died of sleep deprivation before. Basically, relax, sleep will come eventually.
Okay, that might actually help. And breaking down huge problems.
Live each day as if it were your last. Focus only on what you can do today.
1 day at a time. Practical. What about feelings of inferiority? That's a common struggle.
The book's take is interesting. Fighting this problem shouldn't be worth an entire lifetime of effort. Instead, forget ourselves from time to time, broaden our view to the wider world, and find the desire within ourselves to help change the world.
So shift focus outward. from internal struggle to external contribution.
Pretty much. It uses this vivid octopus in the pot analogy. Don't cling to your inner struggles. Changing the way you think is one way of freeing yourself.
Let go of the struggle itself.
And the perspective here is really profound. When you find the solutions to your problems, you can be by other people's side as they struggle through theirs. Your personal struggle becomes a universal lesson.
Turning your pain into help for others, that's powerful. This leads towards self-confidence, right? How does it distinguish true confidence from just arrogance?
Key difference. Manifests through your interactions with other people. True confidence never wavers, regardless of the praise that other people receive. It comes from deep self-respect.
And arrogance.
Makes others uncomfortable. Often signals a need for external validation. So the solution offered is work toward achievements that bring you true fulfillment, not just seeking recognition.
Focus on intrinsic satisfaction, not external praise. Makes sense.
Ultimately, the book points to living lightheartedly and selflessly as the goal for inner peace. And a key mindset for that is we should strive to accept our errors with grace instead of making excuses.
Accepting flaws gracefully. That's hard but important.
And underpinning all this is a profound concept. Human life is finite in one sense, but eternal in another sense. It talks about reincarnation offering infinite opportunities for another chance, even after falling to what it calls hell. It emphasizes it's not eternal misery.
So an eternal perspective helps you live more gracefully now.
That's the idea. This broad view allows us to live with grace, lightheartedness, and selflessness. So we've journeyed through some pretty powerful insights here. Building mental toughness, becoming influential, handling stress, cultivating real self-confidence. This deep dive into the art of influence really shows how personal growth and maybe global impact are intertwined.
Yeah, guided by these principles of love, wisdom, self-reflection, progress. It's quite a mix.
And these aren't just abstract ideas, are they? They feel like actionable mindsets, some surprising perspectives maybe, designed to help you, the listener, gain knowledge quickly but thoroughly.
Right. Experience those aha moments and hopefully feel more informed and empowered by the material we explored today.
Exactly. And as we wrap up, here's maybe a provocative thought for you to chew on. Given everything we've heard, that our efforts and inner virtue might shift our destiny, that wisdom and love are linked, that even our personal struggles can become lessons for others. What's one small, deliberate action you could take today right now, even to polish your own inner diamond, or maybe contribute, even in a small way, to the happiness of the many?